All right, Fung and Sway audience, we're here. We're here live.
Bring you a little video.
A little video podcasting stuff going on right now
Yep.
at the Blue Steel Vodka studio. Here we go. Yep.
I'll put it up a notch. Bro.
Yep. And we actually have, this video podcast. Do you watch any video podcasts?
I do.
Anyone that come to your mind?
I like Sean Ryan.
Sean Ryan?
Yep.
Yeah. What do you learn from that?
He's got, well, have you ever watched?
I think once or twice.
Right. The guests he has on, so diverse, but the information that he's got people who are military to UFO, top secret stuff there. He's got CIA people on, and then he's got guys who are just over in the desert getting it done.
Yeah.
His interview skills,
Pretty good.
fantastic.
So I watch a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watch the Duck Dynasty guys. I like watching them.
Who doesn't?
Yep. They're funny. And I also watch one called Be Amazed. Just stupid stuff
Okay.
that you see all around.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it's like today I saw like the largest statue in the world is in India. And it's about somebody that it's called the Unity statue. You should look that up. It's the largest statue ever made. It's unbelievable.
Was it carved out of?
No, it's copper, it's steel. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's huge.
Okay.
So that I like that one. However, I just want to throw this out there to our Feng Shui audience. There's another podcast that we want to mention today.
Yeah.
All right. And this other podcast is I've learned a lot. I've been watching a lot for it. Okay, because one of the guys on there is related to me. Just one of the guys that started it. Okay, but the name of the podcast. Bolts and Hose.
Bolts and Hose.
It's actually got, I think he's ripped off maybe Snoop Dogg and maybe about bolts and hose, bolts and something like that.
I think he's ripping off Boats and Hose from Step Brothers.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
A little Will Ferrell ripoff.
Maybe.
But maybe not.
But maybe he got permission. But I think that what we should do is I felt that the greatest form of flattery
Of compliment.
is basically like impersonating. Imitation.
Yeah.
Greatest form of flattery.
Bingo. I've heard that. Quote that.
I should write that down. That'd be words of wisdom. We should add that up. And so for today, I thought that it would be a great idea for us to have our own type of bolts podcast, in modeling after theirs, since we're starting our video stuff.
Yeah.
But we need a name. It can't be Bolts and Hose. That's already trademarked.
Right.
Okay. And so for those people, Patriot Bolt, look them up online, LinkedIn. You need some special bolts or something, blah, 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 blah. They're out in Texas.
Yeah.
They're in,
Like if you're in the oil industry or something similar to that.
they're in Abu Dhabi. They got gaskets. They got all kinds of
Right.
stuff.
Texas.
Yeah. He's not famous for a promotional thing. So,
Okay.
but Patriot Bolt, he's been on our podcast.
Yeah, we'll send him a bill.
Yeah, we'll send him a bill. So we need it for us to basically do something close. What do you got? You got anything comes to your mind?
Well, what was your idea?
My idea was studs with nuts.
Okay.
It's like bolts and hose, but
Yeah.
studs with nuts.
I like it.
Yeah, that would be one. You got
Yeah,
any
I
other
had-
bolts and
I
hose?
had, since it was bolts and hose,
Yeah,
I had nuts and sluts.
nuts and sluts. So, Feng and Sway audience, those are our two options out there. We got studs with nuts,
Yeah.
or
I kind of like that better.
nuts and sluts.
Okay.
Okay, one of the two.
Yeah, either one.
So you might think to yourself, well, what does a bolt podcast? What could you
How
like?
compelling could it be?
Well, first of all, they actually meet. They do their podcast from a brewery called Ingenious Brewery. It's ingenious. It's like an ingenious idea.
That idea is ingenious.
Yeah, not like we took that someplace.
Yeah.
Okay, we were first, by the way. I think they're only on podcast like 39 or 32 or yeah.
Didn't we have him on first and then he spun?
I think so. I think he's done that all my life. He's like followed in my footsteps.
Who's older?
Me.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
He's following my footsteps all my life. He's wanted to be me his entire life. Chris, grow up, dude.
It's flattering.
Yeah, it's flattering. Anyway, so what they do is in Ingenious is they talk about what they're drinking. They start off with what they're drinking.
Okay.
So I figured in doing the same thing, Steel Blue Vodka is our sponsor. We have a sponsor that's
When
Steel
we're
Blue
not
Vodka.
drinking Steel Blue Vodka.
Yeah, we actually have something else we go to.
Yeah. It's a
And
new discovery.
it is, and we know the person who created it, Lauren,
Makes it.
who makes this stuff, and it is over the top.
I like it.
Okay, normally I don't like ciders,
Yeah, me neither.
and I usually drink it on ice.
Yeah.
Okay, but what we have here is we have a cider that from Salted Vines. It's called Apple Jacked cider.
Apple jacked.
Apple Jacked. It's almost good for breakfast.
Why not?
Yeah. I was trying to verify the alcohol percentage. You remember what percentage?
I
it is?
remember verbally we were told anywhere from 8.4 to 8.6, but it could be as high as 9.
Yes, that's what I was told yesterday whenever I stopped and got a 6-pack.
Nice.
So Apple Jack cider is what we've got today.
Yeah.
It's great. So shout out to Lauren, Salted Vines, Apple Jack. All right. The other thing that I thought was very interesting in the Bolts and Hose podcast, if we're going to be nuts and sluts or
Okay.
studs with nuts,
Studs
whichever
with
one,
nuts.
okay, is what they do is they talk about product and bolt material and everything else. So I had to order some parts today over this past week for my boat.
Okay.
All right. And I had to order some nuts and bolts, screws and stuff. Now I will have to tell you that my wife, the amazing lady said, "Did you order these from your cousin?" And I said no. So party foul number one is I didn't order these from Patriot Bolts. They're
Right.
probably not gonna last. Okay.
Not nearly as long as
No.
from Patriot.
But yeah, so I had to order these. And I couldn't read the language if they were coming in, but they had to be shipped in, imported. Okay, maybe so, maybe not. But a little things we need to let you know. I had to learn a lot from the Bolts and Hose podcast so that I could basically find out what I need to order. And so I'm not really sure if you're aware of this, but whenever you start ordering stainless steel bolts come in primarily just a few grades. So they rate them based on different grades. And so what do you think the most common grade of
Well,
stainless
it's funny you say that, Doug, because
wisdom?
I'm not just
You're just
not
not
just an empty suit here. I'm a plethora of useless knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you got? What do you got?
Well, I know that the most common grade of stainless steel
Yeah.
products, such as these screws we're dealing with here,
Yeah.
that's a 304 grade.
304 grade.
304, most common.
Yeah, most common is 304. That's pretty interesting. I was learning that a 304 grade is primarily, most all stainless steel is based on chromium and nickel.
Yeah.
And so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to go back through some of my bolts and hoses wisdom here.
Okay.
I believe that what we got here in a 304 grade, I believe the chromium or something of theirs like 18%. Okay. And then I believe the nickel changes some other things, and so it all changes a little bit. But the 304, that's the most common. If you guys go to Home Depot, pull up some, imported screws, stainless steel, you're looking at 304.
Something like this here, I can tell.
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, what do you think that is? You think that's going to be a 304? The next one, just to let you know, 316. Okay, so 316 grade. What do you got on that one?
This is 316.
316.
This is 316.
316. So for our audience out here, what we've got is we actually have a cap screw, but it's a socketed cap screw. With some people,
An Allen wrench.
you'll need an Allen wrench to tighten this up. It's about 5/8 of an inch long, but we also have a Teflon inserted lock nut that goes on it. Okay. And both of these are going to be your 3/16 grade. These are.
I don't know if you can see that.
Can you see it? This is just small.
Yeah.
Those are nuts.
Yeah.
Those are some small nuts.
Those nuts are just not big enough.
those nuts won't work.
Seen on TV.
And so what we got right here is we got these small 5/8, 1/4 inch 20 socket head screws with a Teflon inserted lock nut, 3/16 grade.
The funny thing too about 316 it provides a superior corrosion resistance.
Yeah.
For an environment like you said, you need these for your boat.
These are actually going to bolt my trim tabs. My trim tab.
Exactly. So that's what that would require a 316 grade.
Yeah, I didn't like the
For
grade
salt
that they
water.
came with, so I wanted to make sure. So yeah, these are a 3/16 grade. So if you're out there and you're buying stainless steel screws and you haven't had a chance to look at the Bolts and Hose podcast, you're looking at a grade 3/16 is good for.
Yeah.
Some things you might be able to use 3/16 for is like food service and
Great idea.
something with corrosive environment, something like that.
Right.
There we go. Nuts and bolts.
Well, if you had a stainless steel type of food prep service area, you might want to use something like this to secure the countertop.
I think you're so. There we go.
Right.
So we got something else. I got one of these here to show you.
Yeah, these things
What
are
do you think?
fantastic.
What do you think is here? So for our audience out there, this is what we got. Looks like wood screw threads on one end. Looks like 1/4 inch, machine threads on the other end. It's stainless steel.
It's a hanger bolt, Doug.
A hanger bolt.
Yep.
What would I hang with this? What would you use this for?
These things can be very versatile,
Really? Yeah.
but I think that for our listening audience,
Yeah.
what they might identify with is, say you were in a brewery or a bar, or
Like
something
Ingenious or something.
bingo,
Yeah.
and you wanted to put, those decorative tap heads,
Like a bar tab.
yeah,
Yeah.
on the kegs.
Yeah.
Well, you would insert the heavily threaded end into the stock,
Yeah.
and then the decorative head would already have a threaded area to receive
Yep.
the threads there, and you can secure your, if you were making a kegerator, say
Yeah.
perhaps,
You'd be using
you'd
it.
be using that.
This is Ingenious.
Yeah,
That's the name of the brewery. Ingenious.
I don't think that's any coincidence.
It's not a pun there.
Yeah.
What grade do you think you got here? I'm curious what you got here. I mean, because you're doing pretty good. Smell. I've seen on Bolts and Hose, Chris, it wants to be like me. He's got less hair than I have.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He also has an amazing wife, though. Just to let you know.
I'm going 304, bro.
304. Well, you are correct. This is a great 304. It's less corrosive than we're looking for right there. It's a hanger bolt, 1/4 inch 20 with wood threads on the other end.
I could taste the difference in the nickel content.
You could. It's got 304's got that higher. It's got higher chromium, less nickel, and then the 316's got a lower chromium, higher nickel.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could taste the difference.
So there we go. From each way audience, you thought to yourself, I wonder what those nuts with sluts. What in the world would they be listening to, right? What would they be doing over
What
here?
do they do in their spare time?
Yeah, what are those studs with nuts?
Right.
See, if we got a shirt, studs with nuts would be better. Bolts,
Courtesy
studs
of
with nuts.
this way.
Yeah. So we are the dark web version of Bolts and Hoses, really what we're talking about.
Bizarro world.
Bizarro world.
Right.
So I could say I'm Chris, he's Bryce. We both have more hair, and that's not the case. So until next time, Feng Shui audience, there you go. Tune in next time. You never know what you're going to find out. We might be talking about nuts. We might be talking about
Fishing.
fishing. Could be something. So until next time.
Yep.
There you go. See ya.
You've been listening to the Feng Shui podcast. Stay tuned for new episodes every week.